Hi everyone, I'm Nadia Zdover. I'm a professional business trainer, coach, psychologist, psychotherapist, etc. etc. Today I'm so glad to introduce you an amazing woman, the author of short stories that were published in Chicken Soup for the Soul, bestseller by Jack Canfield. Caroline Reid.
Hello.
Ah,
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so glad to see you here. Well, the first question. Could you please tell me a little bit more about your experience? Shell?
Oh, I worked for Shell Oil Company for 23 years,
23
which is really nothing because there are a lot of people that have worked for Shell for 30 and 40 years, but my career got started and then I got married and then I had babies and then I stayed home with my babies for a while and then I went back to work and that's the way it was. But I loved Shell. I loved working for Shell. I was an executive assistant. That was the last 20 years of my career with Shell was an executive assistant in California to the CEOs with the Shell offshoot, which was called Shell California Production, and then Era Energy, and I worked for 5 different, they send their CEOs out to California, and I worked for 5 different gentlemen who were CEOs in California, and it was very, very interesting. I
Wow,
loved it.
you still work, you stayed, and they back and forth.
Yeah, they're back and forth, but I stayed right there. But it was like a new job every time a different gentleman came along. It was like a new job because they all did it differently.
And you became a motivator and mentor for them.
Well, yeah, I helped them get acquainted with the company and the people in the area. Yeah, because, Bakersfield was a fairly small town. It's not small anymore, but they needed to know about the town. So, yeah, I helped them get acquainted.
Wow, it's so interesting.
Yeah.
And what's the biggest challenge for you?
The biggest challenge in
Your
that
company?
career, the biggest challenge was getting used to different personalities who were in charge. The CEO, I had to be adaptable because there were 5 different personalities and 5 different men, and I had to learn to get to know them, and I couldn't do it my way. It had to be their way.
Sure.
So that's a challenge.
What else?
What else on that job? I just did a lot of interesting things. I got to where I knew almost everybody in the company, and
In the town.
in town I knew a lot of the officials and so forth. I had to because I had to introduce my boss to them. Oh, we had other people on staff that took the CEOs around, but I had to know who the people were. And I find that interesting. I'm a people person, so that was good that I'm a people person because that's what you have to be in a job.
Before you mentioned a story how you met the governor.
Oh yeah, that was lots of fun. One of the CEOs was out of town, and he had an appointment at a local country club with the governor of California. At that time, it was George Dukmajian. And he wasn't going to get back in time, and he called me and he says, "You better go have lunch with the governor." And I go, "Oh, you're kidding. I didn't wear my best suit today." He said, "You're fine. You're always fine. Don't make him wait." So I went down there and met him, and it was very interesting. It was kind of exciting, one-on-one with the governor of a big state like California. But he had his little staff around him. I was all by myself. Oh, I didn't have a staff around me, but yeah, that was challenging.
What did you feel at that moment?
At that moment, I thought, okay, what am I going to talk to the governor about? Because I can't talk to him about the business that he and my boss were going to talk about. So I just told him a little bit about the city and told him a little bit about the CEO and just tried to be comfortable. And make him comfortable. And he was, he was very comfortable. He didn't know how nervous I was. But that was fun. That was a lot of fun. And then another time we had a board meeting down in Southern California at a nice hotel, which I arranged for.
Oh.
And that's a challenge too, because the executives that attended that board meeting were used to really good treatment and really, it has to be efficient. And people like that, it's got to be efficient.
It's normal for them, right?
Yeah, it's normal for them. Yeah. So I was very careful when I planned it and told them, who they were and what we were doing and blah, blah, blah. When we got down there, they had them stuffed in a little bitty room, and they all had suits on and ties and shirt collars and so forth, and it was warm in that room. It was terrible. I opened the door and looked at them, and they were all sitting there like the sweat was dripping off their foreheads. So I went down to the office and I said, you can't ask them to meet like this. They can't. There's not even room for them to write down their notes. We need another room. And she said, we don't have another room available.
Everything was sold out, right?
Everything was, all the business meeting rooms were full, she said. And I said, well, I think you better find one. And they did really fast, and they found a nice big room where they could spread out, and the guy that was the head honcho there said to me, I'm glad I wasn't the person that put us in that room. I'd hate to be on the other end of your ire. I said, no, I was nice. I said, I was nice. I just said, we've got to have another room. And we got it.
Good. Yeah, you encouraged them.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. And I read your short story, I Love My Boss.
Oh yeah, I love my boss. That's a catchy title, but my boss was my daughter. After I retired, I stayed home for I traveled actually the first year after retirement. And
Wow,
yeah,
I
I went to Norway, and I wanted, I went on an Alaskan cruise and so forth, and you can't.
in Europe, right?
I went to Europe after. I can't remember. I went to Germany, and I went to Vienna. I went to Vienna with my daughter. But anyhow, I worked for my daughter in her business. She has a small business, about 25 employees now, but it wasn't that big when I was working for her. But she wanted me to come down for just a few months. She said, Mom, just help us catch up a little bit. And I'd never done any bookkeeping or anything like that before. And we used the program. So I went down and I worked so hard for about, she said, it would just be 3 months. I worked really hard for about 6 months, got a pop up.
And at what age you retired?
Oh, I retired when I was 64.
64.
Right. I worked for Shell till I was 64. Then I went to work for my daughter, and I worked there until I was 70. Let's see, I was in my 70s. And
So it's not 6 months.
no, the 6 months.
7 years?
I worked for her for 7 years. I retired from her office when I was 70, about 76. I'm 78 now. So I was about 75 or 76 when I retired. And I loved working for her. So that's how I got the title, I Love My Boss, because we were very professional. We did not act like mother and daughter. We acted like co-workers. And that was fun. It was fun.
What was your inspiration for these short stories? All of them.
For all of my short stories, the one was my daughter and working for her. The other one was called, what was it called? It was on exercise and so forth.
Diet or not
to diet or not to diet. Yeah, that was, and that involved my friends, and we went out to eat, and we were always on a diet, but we had really fattening dinners, and that night we did. And some friends walked in that knew we were always on diets, and they were always skinny, and so we were so embarrassed. We had these piles of hamburgers and French fries and so forth, but We did it anyhow. And the other one was to diet or not to diet, and the other one was shaping the new you. That's the story of the other one, and that was about exercise. And I honestly can't remember the gist of that story. It was fun, and I may get enthused and write some more stories. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to just stop, I think. Well, you don't really have to stop, but you don't have as much enthusiasm when you're 78 as you did when you're 70. I mean,
But you're full of energy.
I'm full of energy, yeah. I need to keep going.
How old do you now?
I'm 78.
78. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I can't believe it myself.
And your advice, how to prepare for retirement?
Well, be sure you save any money that you can, with the company, that you can save, 401ks or whatever they have, and don't overspend. Just because you're making a good salary, don't buy everything you want. Plan, and then that's the whole thing you have to do is plan and realize that you won't be working all your life. Well, some people do, but I don't want to.
And how to plan properly?
How to plan properly for retirement?
Yeah.
See a financial person, and they need to know, your income and what you want to do and what your expenses are, and you need to see a professional. That's how you plan properly.
And how to adapt to retirement?
Stay busy. Stay as busy as you did when you were working. And just do all the things that you've always wanted to do, like to travel and so forth, and writing and whatever. And I paint pictures, and I do acrylic painting. I have a friend who's exactly my age, and she and I have more fun painting. She's very accomplished. She was art teacher, so she has taught me so much, which is very nice. And we get together once a week, and we paint and we talk, and just stay busy when you're retired. Don't sit in a rocking chair. Only rocking chair. And there's another thing too for people who are married and have had children and now have grandchildren. It's a delightful time for grandchildren, and you need to spend as much time as you can with those grandchildren. They're just wonderful.
Your first thought when you wake up in the morning?
When I my first thought is coffee.
So you're a coffee person?
That's really my first thought. Oh, I gotta have my coffee.
And the second?
The second one is, okay, what am I doing today? Where's my calendar? What's going on?
You have your calendar?
Oh, I keep a calendar. I have to. Yeah. Otherwise, I would forget what I'm doing. That's what happens when you get older. You think you've got to write it down. I write down a lot of stuff. But anyhow, yeah, my first thought is coffee. My second thought is, what am I doing today?
Wow.
Yeah.
And how your days end?
My days end a little sooner than they used to end because I'm a little more tired by about 4 o'clock. So sometimes I have, right now I'm doing some interesting reading because of times. I'm rereading the whole book of Revelation in the Bible, and that's really interesting. And a little scary.
And I know you read another book. Windows 10.
Oh yes, I have Windows 10, and it's very different. So I went and bought the book called Windows 10 for Dummies.
Oh, dummies.
Dummies,
Yeah.
but that's okay. It's good. It's simple and I'll learn. But sometimes it's just so different. But anyhow, yeah, you gotta learn. You gotta keep your brain in gear.
And your advice for the younger generation?
The younger generation, get your education. Whatever, decide what, it takes a while. I know that you don't know right away what you want to do, but be sure you're aware of the things that you're good at and concentrate on that. And, get as much experience as you can get. And be positive, be happy, be uplifting, and ask old people for advice.
That's nice. Yeah.
A lot of us have had some awfully good
Advice.
experiences. Yeah. But yeah, that's all. You just need to concentrate on what it is that you want to do with your life, because life is shorter.
Sure.
Yeah. So do the things you like to do and learn as much as you can.
It's a strange question, but when you understand that your life is so short, what do you feel?
Well, I feel as you get to my age, you have to concentrate on not feeling overwhelmed and a little depressed, because I look at pictures and I was there when my grandchildren were born. I held those little babies in my arms, and now they're in college. And that's a lot of time, and it's gone so fast that I have a deep faith, and so I know that, I need to concentrate on being happy and peaceful. And it does go fast. I just adore my grandchildren, but someday I won't be here for them. Not that they don't need me. They've got their whole life ahead of them, but I love being around them. They're so
It's so
smart.
passionate.
I'm sorry.
It's so passionate.
Yeah,
And what makes you happy?
my grandchildren. And I was showing you this book. It's from a social media, and it's filled with pictures of my children and grandchildren and the things that I did and with them and that they did and so forth. And I get a big charge out of this. I love looking at the pictures because I'm not around as much as I used to be.
It's your memory.
Yeah, it's my memory. The baby pictures aren't in here. I have baby pictures on my wall. But I'm so fortunate that I got to be around every single one of them when they were babies. And that's special to me.
If you had just 3 minutes in which you can put all your whys and share this whys with the audience, what should you say?
I would say always be aware of what you're doing so that you are contributing to life in general, and be positive, be upbeat, love those around you. Love is the most powerful emotion, and you get so much when you give so much. And I just adore my grandchildren and my children. Of course, I love them too. They're grown up now, so they don't, they're all mamas and papas and so forth. So yeah, I would just say stay positive and learn as much as you can, and do the things that you enjoy. I love music, so I go to concerts whenever. So
What's your thoughts about Stephen Covey and Jack Canfield, about people who motivate others?
look at all the contributions they've made
Yeah.
to life, to business, to people's imaginations, and so forth, like Jack Canfield. My goodness, all the writing that people do, they say that they get 500 submissions for their books and that they accept 100 from each book. Well, there's a lot of people that submitted and their story wasn't bought, but they were still able to get it down on paper, and I'm sure they keep that for their families, and it recharges the brain. You have to recharge the brain. I watched Jeopardy because I love that show. So, you have to learn.
You have to learn.
Yeah.
Remember it.
Yeah, don't forget.
Thank you, Caroline.
Oh,
Thank you so
You're
much
such a
for
nice
inspiration.
person. I'm so happy to have met you and
Yes,
have
I'm
this
so
time.
dry.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.